I want to talk a little bit about our stress response and how we can actually know if we are in fight, flight, or freeze. I'm going to be covering this way more in depth on my upcoming free masterclass called Sustaining Yourself Through Stressful Work. So please feel free to join. It is free, it is open to everyone. It is really geared towards those folks who experience stress in their work, like healthcare workers and the helping profession. But understanding our stress response and how to know if we are activated is a game changer when we're talking about our well being, when we're talking about our longevity at work, when we're talking about our life satisfaction. So, the fight response. You may notice if you are in a fight response, if your fists get a bit clenched, if you're finding you're like puffing your chest out a little bit, if you're feeling irritated, if you're feeling passive aggressive, or maybe even you're noticing a bit more OCD tendencies pop up. These can be some of the indicators that you're maybe in a fight state. So I'm not in this video going to talk about what our sympathetic nervous system does. That is another video, but this is just talking about how we can notice in real life if we might be in fight, flight, or freeze. So flight is when you want to flee somewhere. So you might notice your leg shaking up and down. You might notice, eyes darting back and forth. You might want to, your reaction might be to, call quits with someone or stop speaking to someone or break up with someone or quit a job or leave the room. Those are sort of can be indicators that you are in a flight response. And then freeze is immobilization. So that is maybe you feel like you can't speak. That sort of is, freeze is like, I can't move, I can't speak, I can't do this. You might, sometimes with freeze, it's doom scrolling. You're stuck there, you can't move, you're doom scrolling, not always. It can also be, making yourself small. So the reason it is important to maybe have a bit of an understanding of what these can look like is because when we can identify that we're having a stress response, because we can't, it took me many years to understand what a stress response was. And actually, that's not true. It wasn't until later in my life that I learned about what our stress response was and how that looks like in me, and then what I can do when I'm not actually under a threat to then engage my rest and digest and turn off that stress response. Because what was happening is that I was just constantly activated, particularly at work and with the type of work I was doing. And I was like productive as crazy, or productive to the nth degree. But it was taking a serious toll on my physical health. And it was taking a serious toll on my ability to connect with my self energy, to feel peace, calm, ease, flow, alignment, connection, sleep well, you name it. So we can't always control if we're encountering stress or not, but what we can do is when we don't need that stress hormones is we can turn it off. And so this is just helping you notice a bit more. Are you maybe a fighter? Are you a flighter? Or are you a freezer? You might be a couple of them. I tend to be a flighter and a bit of a freeze. And then we can work to take targeted interventions, do targeted activities to help complete that energy that needs to be expelled to complete the stress response so that you can re-engage your parasympathetic nervous system. So in the next video, I'm sharing one way you can quell the stress response in fight, flight, or freeze. Excuse me. But I'm diving into this way more fulsomely in a free masterclass that I'm offering called Sustaining Yourself Through Stressful Work. So please join, please check it out. This is a gift for you, as it was a gift for me learning about my nervous system.